Hello and welcome to Ely Cathedral. My name is Katie from Wild Oak Workshops, and I'm here to give you a little hints and tips and guides about how to make a beautiful Christmas centerpiece for your table. Normally at this time of year I would be here at this beautiful cathedral giving you a demonstration to make a lovely Christmas wreath during the lovely craft and food fair here. Obviously this year it's a little bit different. So now we're going to have a virtual celebration. So I'm going to be using lots of spruce and cinnamon sticks and pine cones, and I'm going to give you these ideas so that hopefully you can do it at home and celebrate Christmas. So we're going to start. This is a beautiful branch. I forage all of my wreaths spruce from the forest floor, so I never cut any live branches. And this is exactly what's happening in nature at the moment when you've got very strong winds and heavy rain. The trees start to drop their branches which are maybe weak or damaged, and those are the ones which I harvest. So what you can see is you've got lovely branches here, and I have, just like you Peter, cut some to start off. And what we're going to do with this lovely oasis base with a plastic back, so even when you add water to it, it won't damage your tablecloth, and you can top up the water to keep this lovely live evergreen spruce alive as long as possible. I've taken the two longest branches and I'm going to add them to each end. So suddenly you've got a really long, beautiful table centerpiece already. And then what I've done is I've cut lots of spruce about hand size, so just very roughly about hand size. And I'm also going to take the needles at the end so that it's a lovely dart, a lovely arrow, I don't know whether you can see that, so that you can fix it really easily. And just fix it where the plastic and the oasis meets. Just like that. I'll keep talking whilst I'm creating. It's a wonderful smell of spruce. Everybody responds to that lovely fresh smell. And this is evergreen, so it will last a very long time, maybe even to New Year. And we add it, and you keep going. And you really don't need very much. I started off by, when you get your Christmas tree, and there's always a branch which you have to cut off because you can't get it into your Christmas tree bucket. That's the one, that's the only branch that you need really to then make your Christmas table decoration. However, it would be a lovely excuse for you to go for a walk, try and find your local woodlands, have a little wander, inhale the beautiful fresh air, get out into nature, and harvest just one or two small branches is all you need. Then, as you can see, I'm going to start putting some on the top. And I'm putting it in, as you can see, nice and firmly. That's the bit which will give this lovely evergreen a drink all the time so that it won't dry up. And if you do see it, because of the central heating, very dry environment, very different to the forest where it's come from, if you do see it getting a little bit dry, you just take it off, put it onto your kitchen draining board and get a jug and just water the oasis. Leave it to absorb for maybe 10-20 minutes, and then you can put it back on your table. Okay. It's lovely and bushy, so you can be just nice and relaxed, just pop in bits. That was a little bit long, so I'm just going to use that on the top. And you are aiming to cover the oasis and to make sure that the skirt, I call it, you can't see underneath to that green base below. A little bit. Most lovely smell. I wish you could be here. You'll get that wonderful Christmas scent. It's not surprising that all the Christmas candles are all spruce smelling, aren't they? I'm going to pop that one there. So can you see it's a lovely green foliage centre? Just check. There. Now also, this is lovely flowering ivy, and it's gorgeous just to nestle in. Little accents, your eye automatically goes to it in comparison to the silvery green, and these berries will darken up and you'll notice them everywhere in the hedgerows, incredibly easy to find. And what happens is the wood pigeons absolutely love feeding on them to give them a lovely source of protein to keep them going through the winter too. So you can see, just adding a little bit of the berries, holly and the ivy. Nice and relaxed, celebrating nature. Okay. I'm keeping the centre just a little bit lower, because I'm going to give you lots of different ways of doing it, but in case you would like to, you can put a glass candle in the middle and then you can light it. Most definitely make sure you use it in glass. Don't use those church candles which are divine but not in glass, because sadly you will create an inferno situation in your home, so always remember glass. But I'll put that over because I've got a few other suggestions too. Then we've got all different types of pine cones. These always remind me of cigars. And when you're foraging in the forests, they'll be very tightly closed. And so to encourage them to open out even more than these are, you put them on your radiator and you'll have this wonderful smell of pine in your house, and also you'll hear this lovely crackle pop as they start to open up. But what I've done is, with a pine cone, and I've got my, I don't know whether you can see, my floristry wire, and you get the base of the pine cone and you just put a little inch there, keep it down with your thumb, wind it round the back and then twist it. It is a bit fiddly, but hopefully you're going to be doing this with the fire lit, nice cup of tea and mince pies or mulled wine, and you can relax and really enjoy this creative process. So you've then got a pine cone with wire, and that's what we're going to use to fix it. So I'm just going to, I'm going to do 4 and 4, and then I'm going to start to scatter everything else. So I'm going to add the pine cone, and you'll know now where that piece of oasis is. And what you want to make sure is that you don't see the wire sticking out, and it's really nestled in to the greenery. So this one might be a bit too short, so just bend it over with a little hook. Okay, I'm going to bend that over because it's probably shorter on each side, isn't it? That goes in there, and then we've got the other pine cones. Just show you again. So you've got the top of the pine cone and the base of the pine cone, and again you're going to just put your wire in there, through, they're called gills, like fish, through the gills, and then twist it there, and then you've got your straight. So we're going to, it's a bit long, so you bend it. I'm probably going to put 2 on each end, like that. you'll be able to feel also when the wire gets the purchase of the oasis. And again, remember just to make sure they're nestling in the greenery so they're not sticking out and you can't see the wire. So, yeah. You can see you've got your pine cones there. So, cinnamon is next. Cinnamon is one of the oldest spices known going back to biblical times. And what is absolutely lovely is if you get a few together, these little cinnamon sticks, and I've cut a piece of twine and you bundle them together like a little parcel, tie them together with a double knot, and then you get some of that floristry wire that I showed you earlier, and there's a little gap in between two little cinnamon sticks. You come together, you bring the wires together, and then you twist so that you've then got a cinnamon stick with a wire that you're going to attach. And what I suggest is you put a little hook on the end so that it fixes in nice and safely. So you hold on to the cinnamon stick and you look for your lovely little gap. I'll put it on the outer edge, and then you just pull a little bit of the foliage back and you can feel where the oasis is. And then what I like to do is just to twist the cinnamon sticks. So I've done a few, prepared earlier, just like they say in the Blue Peter. I'm going to add some more on this side too. And yes, there is a sort of evenness to finding your gaps and making a rhythm of where you place things. But just like nature, it needs to be nice and relaxed. Good. Cinnamon is such a wonderful smell and symbol of Christmas. Mulled wine, you can put it in your apple crumbles. So I'm building up a lovely nest of things. So we've got pine cones, 2 different types of pine cones, and some lovely cinnamon sticks. And I'm going to put that one just there. And again, I'm just going to twist it. It's like a cross, like a bow. It just makes it look even more opulent, more generous. So I'll just show you that so far. So you can see your pine cones, ivy and cinnamon sticks. And now I love the more natural colours of oranges and gingery colours. And so what I've got here is some beautiful dried fruit. I've got dried limes, which are brilliant when you put them in because this lovely white your eye goes to with the green rind. And I've also got some lovely oranges. I'd love you to smell them. Absolutely smell. So it smells of marmalade, basically. Also what we should be doing at the moment in our kitchens. So all of these, the cinnamon and the slices I get online from lots of different suppliers. And they come in huge packs, so they're very generous. And what I would suggest is you take 2, not 1, but 2. And again, you get your floristry wire, and instead of putting it in the middle, find an edge, go where the rind is. Feed them both on. And again, just like we did with the cinnamon stick, bring the wires together and twist them. And so you've got 2. When we place it there, what I like to do is splay them like butterfly wings. Very beautiful. And we put a hook at the end again, so it's got a nice, good fixing. So, in we go. You'll love doing this bit because the smell is so delicious. And you're just feeling for the oasis below, finding little spaces that you can pop these lovely orange colours and then opening them like butterfly wings. Great, and then I'm going to put some of those limes. I did exactly the same, 2, folded the wires together. Lovely smells and scents coming from here. Add this bit where you are. And then these are complete oranges, and they've been sliced so that they can dry from within. They are a little bit more difficult to wire up, but basically you have to be relatively forceful and get your wire to try and marry up two slits there, and you push it through, she says. Here we go. So you push it through into the middle, pull it tight together, and I sound like I'm repeating myself, and you twist it, and then pop a little hook on the end to get a nice good fixing. And again, we're just going to find a little gap. Don't need many because they're so stunning, your eye will immediately go to them. Underneath there. Absolutely gorgeous. So, wonderful smells, textures, colours. Here are my table. Put everything away. Gotcha. And then I'm just going to add some candles. Can you see how gorgeous that is? So there's little quivering bits of ivy. Clear the deck. The white tablecloth is absolutely gorgeous. You need nothing else. You can get disposable tablecloth, paper ones. You can maybe use a white sheet if you don't have one. And then these are my secret ingredient. They're called candle spikes. So instead of putting a little nightlight in there, which is, you know, flammable and the whole thing will burst into flames, here is a lovely little glass which you might pop in the middle there. Put that down so you can see. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll light them for you. Lovely warming glow of a candle. And you can add candles all around. Plus, you might have some of their lovely bits of the oranges slices left over, which you can scatter and festoon. Some cinnamon sticks. There, out of eyesight for you. And then we'll just finally light these ones. Picking out all the beautiful colours. These are little glass candle holders. You can use old yogurt pots if you've got any, or ramekin dishes, or even just little fruit juice glasses. There we are. So, your Christmas table decoration. Lots of spruce, lots of dried. You've got your wires and your string. I hope that this will bring some Christmas cheer to your table. And I wish you a very happy Christmas. Take care. Bye-bye.